Welcome back to F1 Report, everyone. We may be in the break between seasons, but that doesn't mean news isn't coming out. We've actually had two big bits of news over the last couple of days, so let's get stuck right in. Today we had the announcement that the 2021 season will have a delayed start and have further changes to the calendar. Sadly, COVID strikes again on this one, as the start of the season was meant to be in Australia on the 21st of March. However, that race has now been moved to the 21st of November instead. This is because Australia has strict rules on international rivals, making the race impossible right now. It's unfortunate, as I felt F1 proved with its bubbling system that it worked extremely well last season, and that might inspire confidence in countries to allow racing to happen. But it's fair enough really, each government is dealing with the problem differently, and you can't mess around with this stuff. At least we get to see the race in November. To accommodate the new date, the race in Brazil has moved forward 1 week, and the races in Saudi Arabia and Abu Dhabi have been moved back 1 week. Another race that was postponed is the Chinese Grand Prix. They also have very strict rules in place at the moment. There's been no word on when we might go racing there, but F1 have said that they're working on moving it later in the season if possible. If F1 are taking away with one hand, they are also giving with the other. A race at Imola has been added in place of China and will take place on the 18th of April. So at least we get that returning again this year as well. We also still have that TBD race in May for another chance at a returning track. Very fun. What this ultimately means is the season now starts on the 28th of March in Bahrain. Then we go to Imola on the 18th of April before continuing the season as planned. There's not too much disruption, just something to be aware of at the start of the season. But that's not all the news we've had recently, however. Yesterday we had the rather shocking news that Renault team boss Cyril Abiteboul is leaving not only his role, but Renault as a whole, and will not be continuing with Alpine next season. This comes as a surprise because it was widely believed that Abiteboul was on for a promotion to CEO of the newly revived Alpine brand. Abiteboul's been a Renault stalwart, spending 20 years with the company over multiple stints, and he's been around in F1 since 2007. There is no suggestion of where he'll go next. With his experience, you'd expect somebody to pick him up soon enough after his gardening leave ends, right? The real question is, will he still honour his tattoo bet with Ricciardo? And one final bonus piece of news comes from McLaren. They've signed an option to enter Formula E for the 2022-2023 season onwards, and this coincides with their Gen 3 car designed for Formula E as well. This is great news for Formula E to have such a classic F1 and just general racing team join their ranks. And it comes at a good time for them as well, with a couple of teams lately announcing they'll be leaving the sport. But before we get too excited, it is just an option to join so far. They have a slot on the grid, but it's their choice whether they use it or not. So they've not confirmed that they'll be on the grid, but they can be, and it is a big step in the right direction. That's your big news for the last couple of days. How do you guys feel about the calendar changes? And were you surprised about Abiteboul leaving? Let me know in the comments, and I'll catch you in the next one.